Where do you get these little things?
Target.
Target?
Best Buy horse.
Target's magical. Come on.
I know.
If you can't get it at Target, you don't need
I
it.
try and give myself a $50 spending limit at Target, and every time, nope. Don't even need it.
I would have
Don't need
made it through the
anything.
dollar section. That dollar section.
Smart. Knickknacks, tiny little hand sanitizers. Can't go past it.
All right, so Rebecca, as we've now seen, has something hot and heavy going on for Marcel. Is that going to be continuing, or is she going to rein herself in a little bit?
She has a really long history with Marcel, so I think that it's something she'd like to continue, and something I think they might both like to continue. But of course, with Klaus around, that never normally happens. She is often deprived of happiness because of him. So I don't want to give anything away, but it's something that they both want to try and make work, I think.
And just follow up with the red apple symbolism. It's like she was handing him a poisoned apple, and obviously it wasn't, but it kind of did poison their relationship almost from the get-go.
Well, what she was handing to him unknowingly was the key to bring down what her family had tried to protect. So I think it was almost a symbol of the fact that maybe the relationship could be doomed or not, but it wasn't a very good omen, I don't think.
Rebecca holds Elijah to such a high standard. Will we ever maybe see that change where her opinion of him falters a little bit? Because right now he's golden to her.
Right. I think it's going to be really hard for her to ever knock Elijah off that pedestal. She, even though he makes mistakes at times, I think she just always respects him, and because they've had such a long history, they've been alive for so long, he has behaved in a way that's been honourable most of the time. So I think it's very hard for her to see him in a light that is not perfect.
We've seen a different side of Rebecca on the originals from what we saw in the Vampire Diaries, and how has that been to play?
So much fun. Oh my goodness. I think Rebecca kind of lost her mojo a little in season 4. I mean, I really liked the arc that I got to play, but she softened. And the thing that I loved the most coming into playing Rebecca was how sassy she was and how fun she was and how she could just go on murderous sprees and not care at all. So I really enjoyed getting to go back to her roots and tapping into that side a little more. I really loved playing Rebecca on the Vampire Diaries, but there just wasn't that much time for her because the other characters were more important. And so now that we have a show of our own, it's really fun to sort of explore those sides more.
She's been trying to stay out of this war, between Marcel and Klaus.
Right.
But now with Haley being, kidnapped, is she really going to fully engage?
I think she doesn't know what she wants, whether she's going to engage, whether she isn't, who she's siding with, who she cares about, who she's loyal to, and I think that's part of the struggle of this whole thing. Rebecca wants to be loyal to her family but struggles. She loves Marcel but struggles with that relationship. She is protective of Haley but doesn't really have the bond that's as strong as the bond with her and her brothers. So I really think it's a confusing time for her, and she isn't certain what she wants, and she's easily swayed by people, which we will see.
So Tyler's showing up on Tuesday.
Yay!
What can you reveal about his big crossover episode?
He is so phenomenal in it. He just came to the originals and knocked the ball out of the park. He came to cause a stir. He's coming for a reason, and he really makes his mark. And I think the fans are really going to love what he brings to it. He's so good, and we were so lucky to have him. And I hope we get him some more.
So there's obviously something big going on outside. What can you say about this episode and what you're shooting today?
It's starts sort of in a flashbacky way, in that what's happening outside is I don't know how much can I talk about the episode? So it's a Casket Girl festival, and the reason there is this festival is because there's a myth about the Casket Girls. So we get to see how Rebecca is involved in that myth. And it's really, this episode is about the strength of women and empowering women, which is kind of cool. So it's a lot of fun to shoot, and somehow they have made a tiny little street in Conyers, Georgia look like a huge festival in New Orleans. So they're amazing.
We've gotten a lot of flashbacks so far. Can you preview what other flashbacks we could be seeing in upcoming episodes?
What have we seen up to? 6. So there's definitely more history with Klaus and Marcel that you'll get to see, and how they formed the relationship they have. And as I said, we get to see some of the Rebecca's involvement in the casket gun myth. But I think the great thing about this show is every few episodes we get to the flashback because there's so much story to tell and so much history. And I continue to put on those lovely corsets. So I don't know. I think it's going to keep coming for a long time. You know, we're going to see their history in New Orleans and up to the point where they left.
Is Rebecca going to find out about Marcel's history with Sophie?
I don't know, and I'm not sure that she cares really. She's had a lot of flings herself, so I think that was probably a brief thing. She may or may not find out, but I don't think it's really going to impact the way she feels about Marcel or Sophie.
Maybe Matt Donovan's appearance would change that a little bit.
Maybe Matt Donovan's appearance would. Can you call him? Can you ask him?
Bring in the quarterback.
Well, at this point, Rebecca's kind of odd girl out because she's feeling a little bit like she doesn't assimilate well with her brothers because they've kind of bonded, and she's kind of just like, fine, I'll leave town.
Right.
Is that going to blow over quickly, or is she still going to kind of feel like, oh, they've got a bond right now and I'm not a part of that?
I think she always feels that, and it's a constant battle with her of wanting to be a part of this family but feeling like she wants her own independence or feeling left out of the boys' clique. And part of this episode is about that. You know, it's constantly a boys' club for Rebecca, and she is influenced a lot by the men in her life. So I think her leaving was something that she really thought she was going to do, but she realized when Haley had disappeared that perhaps maybe it wasn't, and so it's just a constant inner struggle for her.
She's grown close to Haley, but Haley's also bonded a lot with Elijah. Does Rebecca have any feelings about sort of Haley and Elijah's relationship?
Yeah, interestingly enough, and I'm not sure whether it was a timing thing or a studio cut, but we in the last episode that just aired, Rebecca's acknowledged that she could see Elijah's feelings for Haley, and I don't know if that
You could see it in her face, at the pool, but
yes, okay, good. I just was like checking that I gave something away. So she knows that is going on, and I think that there's a pang of jealousy there. She loves Elijah so much, and there's another woman now that's in town, and she's, taking some of the attention of her brother. So I don't think it's too much of an issue now to the point where she's not going to protect the baby or not going to feel like Haley's a part of the family, but I think she definitely acknowledges it and realizes that it may not be the smartest thing for Elijah to pursue. Are there? No? Okay. We can still go. Freeman? I guess we're good.
Is she worried that Elijah's feelings for Haley is going to put her brothers at war?
Yes, and I think that is something that I tried to play in a lot of my scenes. Do they need us? Do they need me?
Moments away.
Okay.
Yes.
That I tried to play in my scenes is that almost a warning to him when she was leaving and saying, I want no part of this, this could go bad, because it's not even what you're doing with my brother and that you're starting this war, you're also engaging with what is his, or what he thinks is his.
she's seen it, twice before now?
Right, exactly. So there's definitely trepidation, and she knows that this could go really wrong, but she also is so, she thinks so highly of Elijah that she's not one to really tell him how to behave or act. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I think we can keep going until it pulls me.
I loved the opening scene of last week's episode, kind of seeing they make a grocery list.
It was super fun, right?
Will we see more of that, kind of the family dynamic?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get to see a little more of that now that we've done all the backstory and the family's starting to bond, and of course it's always gonna be peaks and troughs, but I always love those Three Musketeer scenes. They're so fun. I know that was a really cool opening. I love that.
Can't Rebecca just compel a maid to scrub the carpet?
I'm sure she could.
She's making
I'm not sure why she didn't, actually. But that was fun, that stuff to shoot. That was really cool.
It was fun to watch.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Did you actually drag a body down?
I did drag a body through. I know. It was, we have this cool little trolley system that we use where it's really easy to drag them, and so you don't actually have to, so you can look like you're not making a lot of effort, because dragging 100 plus pounds sometimes isn't easy. So that was so cool. I love doing that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Gotta go walk down the street.